Is this escalation, this military conflict, is it all about drugs? Well, they're not the prime source of fentanyl. China and the Mexican cartels are the prime source of fentanyl. But other issues to consider, it is a huge resource-rich country. It is in our hemisphere. They are making deals with Russia and China. There is election software issues as well, and the petrodollar. So let's go through it. Venezuela has a ton of natural resources. One of them is the oil that they have. They have the largest oil reserves in the world, 303 billion barrels. It's 5 times the U.S. supply right now. They also are rich in gold. They also have rare earth minerals that are needed for technology, electronics, batteries, and defense. They are the single greatest resource for oil and minerals on the planet, making it an important country and in our hemisphere just south of Florida. Now, on the election side, the U.S. is claiming that Maduro's government is illegitimate following the 2024 elections. It has been widely regarded as a rigged election for Maduro. Why? Because they use electronic voting machines. In 1997, 3 Venezuelan computer engineers created software for lottery machines. But then Venezuelan officials paid these guys about $120 to $200 million to create election machine software. After that happened, there was a wave of leftist winners in South America. Now, the same 3 engineers, they start an election software company in the U.S. called Smartmatic. The Smartmatic source code is owned by the Venezuelan government. Smartmatic purchases Sequoia. It's a U.S. voting machine company in 2005. But Smartmatic starts getting investigated by the Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S. And before the committee can finish its investigation, Smartmatic sells Sequoia after pressure from that investigation, but before it can complete it. Now, Smartmatic sold Sequoia to Dominion Voting Systems. Smartmatic continues getting contracts. In 2012, in Belgium, there were tech glitches. It allowed some voters to vote twice while blocking others. In 2014, in Estonia, they were accused of having voting system integrity issues. 2016, the Philippines, voting data was funneled through several non-sanctioned servers. The co-founder of Smartmatic was charged with giving bribes for contracts in the Philippines as well. In 2016, the Utah Republican Caucus used Smartmatic voting software and experienced more technical issues, and some people were also blocked from voting. Now, Smartmatic is still used today for all of Los Angeles County elections. Now, the duplicate system in the U.S. is Dominion, where every major city and every major swing state uses Dominion. Dominion bought Sequoia from Smartmatic back in 2007. Now, the voting machines and the software is now used in 72 countries. That brings us now to the petrodollar. So back in 71, Nixon took us off the gold standard, right? By 73, Henry Kissinger creates a deal with Saudi Arabia. They would sell oil only in US dollars, and the US military would protect the regime. From that moment on, every country on earth needed US dollars to buy or sell energy, oil and gas. In 2000, Saddam Hussein, he says Iraq's only going to trade oil in euros. By 2003, the US invades Iraq under the guise of weapons of mass destruction, have to get them out. No WMDs are ever found, but Iraqi oil goes back to US dollars. 2009, Gaddafi in Libya proposes a gold-backed African currency called the gold dinar. It would allow African nations to buy and sell oil without US dollars. And by 2011, NATO intervenes in Libya for humanitarian reasons. Gaddafi's killed, the gold dinar disappears, and Libyan oil goes back to being traded in US dollars. Same thing happened for Russia, Syria, Iran, and now Venezuela. Venezuela has huge deals right now with China and Russia. The Venezuelan oil can be purchased in euros, in Chinese yuan, and in crypto. Venezuela also has a decades-long deal right now with Russia, where Russia can have ownership in Venezuelan oil fields, and Russian companies right now are down there mining rare earth minerals. Now, the U.S. military is meant to protect our reserve currency status. That is the pattern we see. Any country that says that they're not going to trade oil in U.S. dollars, we see an economic or military intervention to get them back in line. We're experiencing that right now with Venezuela. Venezuela has humongous deals with China and Russia right now. Both of these countries are coming into Venezuela. They are working out economic deals to circumvent the U.S. sanctions. This is the biggest problem right now, is that the U.S. empire, the global system that the U.S. has set up, is being challenged by Russia and China. When it comes to Venezuela, it's a complicated matter. It's not just what the regime is telling us. It's not simply just drugs. It goes a lot bigger than that.